Good afternoon, PEP students. Another live PEP class this looking at meter, which is, generally speaking, the distance or edge of an object. We're going to be looking at perimeter of simple shapes such as the square, the rectangle, the triangle, whether they are polygons or like that. So I'm waiting on my students to join me, and then I'll go ahead. All right, so started with meter. So press the distance around the outer edge of a shape as that. So let me, while I'm waiting on my other students to join, trying to get my square looking like a square and my rectangle looking like a rectangle. That's what I call it. Okay. They are, but we're pretending that they are straight. All right. Okay, so let's put in some, let's say that's 4. So that's 4 centimeters. It's a square. And if you're in doubt, here's a proof. Rectangle. If in doubt, here's a proof. Rectangle is 20 meters. And this is 16. And here's the proof is 43. If you can hear me, say I can hear you. If you can see the screen clearly, just let me know that you're seeing it clearly. Are you hearing me and seeing me clear? Okay, so let's continue. So here we have some shapes. We have a square. We know that it's a square because the strokes on the sides tell us that the sides are equal to each other. Looking at a shape, and the sides have the same strokes. That's how we know this is a square. This is 4 centimeters. That means all the sides are 4 centimeters. So remember I said that perimeter is the distance on the outer edge. So if we want the perimeter of these, so we're finding perimeter. Sorry, that's we're finding perimeter of each of these shapes. That's the distance around. For this, the square, the perimeter is 4 centimeters plus 4 centimeters, plus 4 centimeters. And that really means we're adding 4 times the same as multiplying 4 by 2. Sorry, by 4. Whether you want to add it 4 times, the perimeter is for the perimeter is the distance around. To add the 20 plus 16 meters plus 20 meters. These two sides have strokes. This is 20. And these two have the same single stroke. So this is 16, that is 16. So it will be 20 plus 20 meters because and the 16 meters because it's 2 16s. Add those, we get 6 and 6. Carry 1, 2 and 4, 5, 7. 72 meters. But there's another way we could have done it. Since 20s and 2 sins, we could have 2 times 20, which is 40. 16, because it's 2 16s, which is 32. And we add those, and we 72. So either way you want to work it. For the rectangle, it's 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, and you get your perimeter. For the X, triangle has 3 equal sides. See, that is equal to that. So we simply need to multiply each side by 3. Multiply the 43 by 3. 3 3 is 9, and 3 4 is 12. Or say 43 plus 43 plus 43. We can add it 3 times, or we can multiply 43 by 3 and get the perimeter. So the same rule applies. The same principle applies for regular as well as irregular. The difference is if it's a regular polygon, then you know all the sides are equal. So you simply need to multiply the length of one side by the number of sides, and you will have your answer. If the polygon is irregular, so if you have the length varying measurement, then you simply need to add all the lengths. For the isosceles triangle, since the isosceles triangle has equal sides, so let's say these two sides will be equal and this one is not. That's the isosceles triangle. If we know this side, so let's say that's meters, and let's say this is 1 meters. What's the perimeter? They don't always have to give you all the measurements, so you have to the strokes to see if there are any sides that are equal, which you can fill in those measurements. So because this side has the same one stroke as that side, we know that these sides are equal, so we can fill in the 60 here. It wasn't given to us. We can fill it in. So we can fill in the 60. We know that we need to add. So it's 2 times 60, which is 120, plus the 41. And that would give 161 meters. Write it out. 6 plus 60 plus 41. You 161 meters. Suppose it's a triangle that is not equilateral, is not isosceles, no sides equal. So that would be a scale in 3 different sides. So let's say that's 22 meters. That's 30 meters. 29 meters. So the perimeter, so it's a bit 22, 29, and these are all in meters, plus 35. So 9 and 5, 14 and 2, 16. 2 and 2, 4 and 3, 1, 8. So that would be 86. So the unit perimeter is centimeter, meter, kilometer. We don't square the units or cube the units because we're just adding the one-dimensional lengths or widths. We're just adding them. We're not multiplying them. We're just adding the distances or the lengths around the outer edge of the figure. Now, in terms of, let's say we're looking at a pentagon, a regular pentagon. The regular pentagon would have 5 equal sides. So if you know the length of one side, you would multiply each length by 5. Let's say it's a regular octagon. 8 sides. If you know the length of one side, you would multiply that side by 8. There's a same given to the perimeter of a circle. So let's say we have a circle. We're pretending it's a circle. The perimeter of the circle is called the circumference. So use your imagination. It's a perfectly round circle there. And the circumference is the distance edge of the circle. The distance for that is, the formula for that is 2 pi r. And pi is equal to 22/7 or 3.14. R would be the radius, and the radius of a circle is the distance halfway across the circle. So from the origin to the circumference, that's us. The full distance would have been the diameter. So the diameter is 2 times the radius. And if diameter, the circumference is pi, the diameter. Because since the diameter is 2 times the radius, so it will be the 2 times the radius. So we can replace this by d, so it will be pi times the diameter. So depending on what you're given, if you're given the radius and the circumference, which is the perimeter of the circle, 2 times pi times the radius. If it's the diameter you're given and you want the circumference, it's pi to the diameter. So if you're given a circle, say the radius meters, you circumference is 2 times the radius. Pi in fraction form, 22/7, or decimal form, 3.14. So let's use in the decimal. So it's 2 times 3.14, which is pi, times the radius, which is 5. 2 times 5 is 10.14. That's 31.4. So the circumference will be 31.4 meters. Let's say we're on another circle, and this time we're given the diameter. So we're given the diameter, and it is, let's say it is 42 meters. Again, the circumference is pi times the diameter. So let's use pi in fraction forms over 7 times the diameter. 7 into itself 1, and 7 into 42 goes 6 times. 2, 6 2 is 12. 6 2 is 12 and 1. So the circumference will be 132 meters. Remember, another name for circumference is the perimeter. Or rather, another name for the perimeter of the circle is the circumference. 2 pi r if you know the radius, and pi times the diameter if you know the diameter. Suppose you are given the perimeter. Suppose you are given the perimeter of a shape and you want to find the missing length. Well, in that case, you think in reverse. So since the perimeter of all the lengths, then if you are given the perimeter and you want any of the missing lengths, so let's say, let's start again with the simple one, the square. So let's say we are told square, the perimeter is 48 centimeters. What is the length of each of the square? Since we know that the square has 4 equal sides, and we know that the perimeter is the distance around the edge, so it's the sum of all the sides. So 4 times what would give 48? There are 4 equal sides. So to find the length of each side, it will be 48 divided by 4. So we're going in reverse. This time we know the perimeter, since the square has 4 equal sides. So 48 divided by 4, so the length of each side will be 12 centimeters. Let's give them a rectangle. You know these two sides are equal. You know equal. Let's say you're told that this is 7 kilometers. You don't know this side. You want to find the length of that side. And you're told meter is, let's say, 54 kilometers. Since in the rectangle we have 2 sides that are equal, these 2 sides are equal, we can fill this in. So this is also 7. We don't know the width, we know the length, but we know that the perimeter of the rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So we can multiply the length by 2, and that gives us 14 kilometers. And if we subtract from the total 20, six, and we know that would represent 2 times equal parts for the width. So to find the width, we would divide by 2. So x is 3 kilometers, and we can double check the 3 kilometers here. So 3 plus 6 give the full 20. If you're dealing with regular polygons and you're given the perimeter, so let's say you're dealing with a hexagon and you're told the perimeter is 60 centimeters. Since it's a regular hexagon, it's 6 equal sides. So to find the length of each side, just divide the perimeter by 6. So that would be 10 centimeters. And that's the general concept for perimeter. Another time we'll look at area and also volume. All of these subtopics come under measurement. All right, so that's the wrap for today on our lesson on perimeter.